Welcome to the MIB podcast, where we help you chase your dreams side by side. And now, your hosts, Mike and Talia Osborne.
Good morning.
What's up? This is Mike.
And Talia.
This is the
MIB podcast.
The MIB podcast. MIB, what's up? Hope you guys having a great day today.
Yep. Today it's a little bit sunny. Snow is starting to melt. We just got the snow, but it's starting to melt, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Except that it turned into ice, so then there's that.
Yeah. A lot of fun stuff dealing with when you live here in Maine and up in the Great White North. But I hope you guys are having a great day today. Hope you guys are wherever you guys are here listening to this from. Hopefully driving in your car or riding in bike in the gym or whatever. We're just so excited that you took your time out today to listen to us. And today is episode 5, and we're going to call it
Goal Setting. Married and Goal Setting.
Married and Goal Setting. So before that, let's go ahead and cover some basic details.
So if you would please, if you have not already followed us on Facebook, we'd appreciate you following us at facebook.com/MIB podcast.
Or our website, themibpodcast.com. If you guys want to email us, we're at info@themibpodcast.com. There you can find the podcast, any resources that we might have for you, any information we said we would have for you in previous podcasts will probably be under the resources section. And let's go ahead and get started today. Goal setting. So we've talked recently about, starting a business, having no money, starting a business, our story about, our entrepreneurial story about doing lots of different things for finding something we really enjoyed. But the key to, I guess, making sure that you get what you want out of a business is always goal setting.
Yep.
Right?
You have to know where you want to go.
Yeah.
If you don't know where you want to go, it's like driving your car blindfolded.
Oh, yeah.
Hoping that you get to your destination, but most likely ending up in a lake drowning.
Yeah, every time it snows in Virginia, everybody puts blindfolds on, don't they?
Oh, they drive like it.
Yeah, exactly.
We love you, Virginia.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so let's just say you don't have a business yet. We just talked last week or last podcast about knowing what, like earning extra money so that you can actually get started. But some people don't even know what they're going to do yet. So you need to figure that out. You really need to hammer down exactly what you want to do. It's as easy as making a list of pros and cons and figuring out which direction you want to travel in.
Mm-hmm. So you have a business now. Hopefully, you had the startup money. We talked about that in episode 4. Go back if you want to learn different ways to get started, get capital without having the loans or anything crazy like that. But now you have a business, right? We want to figure out how to get started and different things of what we should think about when it comes to running that business, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll share a couple stories too on ways to say that this is not the right business for you or, whatever. Yep. So first things first.
You want to kind of set a date for when you're going to start, right? But in order to get to that date, you need to know all the things that are going to lead up to you getting started. Some of that will be acquiring the materials. Some will be buying instruments and things that you need to create that. Or it's talking to manufacturers or whatever. So you got to figure all these things out. And you have to figure out what platform you're going to sell on. So here's some of the questions to ask yourself. Where am I going to sell this item? How much do I need to start out? How much money? What will the materials cost me? How much will I charge for my product? And, you need to make sure that your amount of money that you need is going to cover your expenses and it's going to produce a profit.
Yeah. How much is your time worth really is a big key factor. A lot of people own these really, I call them, no profit jobs where they work and work and work. They own their own company, quote, air quotes, but they don't make any money, right? Mm-hmm. So they do stuff that they love. They're a baker. They, sell arts and crafts. They do all the things where, well, I'll let Talia tell her side of the story on a couple companies that she did that were owning her more or less than, she owning them, right?
Yeah. So I started a tutu company. I also had a repurposed purse business that I started where
Tutus like the ones you wear when you run the 5Ks or I guess, or when you do ballet.
Yeah.
Or you go out Friday night in college, whatever. I don't know.
But I started making tutus. I also had at different times, I also had a repurposed purse business where I take old clothing and turn them into purses, which was really fun for me.
Actually a really good idea.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I thought it would catch on really fast. And I'm not the planner of the family.
Probably a pretty good idea today.
Yeah. I'm not the planner of the family, so I figured I'll just go get a bunch of stuff and I'll put it together and I'll make purses and I'll post it on Facebook and I'll sell it and I'm going to have a great business. And so I did that and I got a couple orders, but at the end of the day, I have Mike over here who is the numbers guy and the detail guy. And he is telling me or asking me, so how much money do you think you made? And I'm like, well,
you sold a purse for what? Like $20?
Yeah, $20.
Yeah. And then how long did it take you to make the purse?
Probably like 2 to 3 hours.
How much in materials did it cost?
See, this is where, again, I didn't know my numbers.
Exactly.
I didn't understand that I needed to calculate out how much each material, each piece of cloth or clothing cost me in order to make that purse.
Yeah.
So basically, I made no money.
Yeah, exactly. Like it happens all the time to people. So literally know your numbers on your business, literally.
Before you start, because that will help you be successful once you get rolling.
Yeah, if you're say you want to make gourmet cupcakes, right? You know, the cost of electricity, meaning the increase in cost between, you know, heating your house / cooling your house. You know, these are big costs that no one ever talks about, but literally, even being a quote unquote tax deductible item, they matter. Because literally, if you're middle of summer, 100 degrees outside, and you're burning your house up with your stove going all day, you have to take into account of things like that, right? So, you know, please, please, please just watch your numbers, know your numbers. That's going to make a huge difference.
And you can always do a test month for your first month of business to figure out exactly where those numbers are, like how much more am I paying for heat or electricity while I'm cooking out of my home or whatever you're doing. Just do a test month to figure that stuff out. That will help you plan out your next few months. You also need to figure out what type of business you're going to be, because some people don't understand a sole proprietorship or a corporation versus a LLC. These are things that you need to talk with a tax professional or an accountant about. They can help you decide what is the right route for you.
Yeah, definitely.
We are not those people.
Yeah, simple put, if something you make could blow up or poison somebody or cut somebody, yeah, LLC probably would work for you. If you're very small and you want, you know, poke a stick at type business where, you could, sole proprietorship would probably be okay, and different, you know, tax advantages with corporations, but same thing. We're not CPA, so please consult your tax professional.
Then you want to set dates and start applying to get your EIN or your federal tax ID number. This is going to be for your taxes. It can also help you with, when it comes to tax time, differentiate between your personal taxes and your business taxes. So you want to go ahead and, again, talk to your tax professional, figure that out, but it is something that you need to plan for. So set a goal or a date to figure out when you need to get that done by. Another thing to figure out is, we've talked about what's your time worth, but we also need to talk about, what does the market say about your product? Does it exist already? You know, is someone already selling it and they're selling a premium product and you can sell a lesser version of it, or is someone selling the regular version of it and you can sell a premium version? So you need to figure out what the market says about that and how much you should charge for that. And does that fit within your parameters of how much money you need to make or want to make?
Make sure that there is a demand for your item. There's a lot of, I guess, a good thing about coming up with inventing your own new thing that no one's ever heard of, whatever. It could be the biggest thing in the world, and it might be, but if no one's ever heard of it, how the heck do they Google it? How do they find it, right?
Yeah, and so that's another thing. How will you market your idea? Yeah,
I've heard, I think it was Red Bull, literally, they gave you wings, and to do that, they went bankrupt doing so because they spent more money than they did actually selling energy drinks. Now they're okay today, thanks to the, I guess, bankrupt laws, whatever, but literally these companies would literally go out of business in marketing just to create a market. Because at the time, that was energy drink was a brand new thing, right? So yeah, whatever you do, whatever you decide to do, all these things said that we've already talked about, just make sure you treat your business like a business, right? Simple things like purchasing out of a business account, or at least a separate checking account that is only for this business, that you use for nothing else, not grocery shopping or buying a sweater, nothing else. Literally, if you're purchasing for a business, make sure you have a separate checking account for that business. And reinvest funds. Make sure that you always reinvest the funds.
There's nothing worse than starving your business when you're first starting out.
Yeah. So the money that you worked hard from episode 4 getting, make sure that's actually, you put that money to work. Tell your money what to do. So now,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, you.
Sorry, guys. So also, you want to make sure you're doing something that you love. There's nothing worse than leaving a job that you hate and then creating a new job that you hate, but
on the side.
You own it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
or even if it's on the side income, we talk about full time, but I mean, we've worked and done everything, on the side and everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, just make sure you really enjoy what you're doing, and you'll find out. We've started a couple companies even recently that we thought we would really, really enjoy. And, luckily we're very smart about investing into it and things like that. We didn't put a lot of money into it. We didn't lose a lot of money, but we found out pretty quick, man, we really don't enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
Right. So just make sure you really do enjoy it, or it's just going to be agonizing doing something that you hate, simply put, they just don't like it. Right.
Yep.
So I don't know.
So after you've answered all those questions and you have a solid plan of how you're going to make your business work, this is when you can turn the table and you can start to goal set. You can start to figure out, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know how I'm going to do it, but when will I get to my goal? What is my goal? So you want to begin with the end in mind. And Mike, can you explain exactly what that means?
Yeah, I mean, you want to think long-term. You want to know exactly where you want to go or where this goal is going to take you. And I heard a long time ago, it's like playing basketball with no goals, you wouldn't really get anywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be fun. You're just passing the ball around, but you're not
running back and forth.
You're not scoring anything. So just remember, like, you have an end goal, end date, an idea of what you want to get done. Just go ahead and pursue that idea. So if it's in a year, long term, what does that mean? Or what's the goal I'm trying to attain? Millionaire, right? To give you an idea from our small business, I think we're kind of capping it. We want to try to do like $500,000 in sales this year. That's our goal that we have for the year, right? $500,000 in sales. But is that the one that's going to stretch us to make us bigger? Or is that kind of where we want to be? Maybe I'm sorry, I'm getting all jumbled up here. Really know what you want to do ahead of time. So we know that for our main business being a FBA reseller on Amazon, we want to do $500,000 in sales. That's our yearly goal, right? Mm-hmm. But then obviously you got to think of monthly, weekly, and daily. And really up front, I would tell everybody, make sure you come up with a goal that's going to stretch you as well, right? Make one that's realistic that, obviously things go wrong or we can't find inventory and it's kind of hard to do $500,000 in sales without having that inventory. Maybe we only get 400,000, but at least we're going to try to get to that 500,000. It's realistic, right? Mm-hmm. Make it realistic, make it attainable, make it something that you're excited about, but also have a goal that's going to stretch you. So, our goals this year that's going to stretch us are like, hopefully having a good podcast, a radio show that people enjoy listening to and have some give and take and things like that. That's one of our goals that's hopefully going to stretch us. Monetary goals, we have a course we're starting. We hope that we're going to help 1,000 people with that. That's going to be, a hard thing to do, but that's a stretch you like. Hopefully somebody, maybe, for us as God gets involved, helps us get through there. You have your own beliefs, but come up with something big, right? Something that's really going to make you work hard, keep you accountable to that goal, right?
And make you stay in business, because honestly, if you don't have a goal, it's very easy to get distracted and to let life get in the way of where you want to be or what you want to pursue.
Yeah.
So a really big thing is make your goal plain. Write it down. The book I read says write it on a tablet. So you're actually etching it in stone to make sure that it is solid and that it cannot be changed.
Yep.
So you want to write it down, put it in a place where you can see it so that you can always be focused on that.
Yeah, write it down. Literally, you have to write down your goals. You can't just say them out loud without seeing them. Make sure that you have them written down somewhere that you can look at them all day, just like Talia said, or at least go over them on a daily basis. Some people do like what do you call it, incantations or positive. What are they called? Positive. Drawing a blank. Either way, basically saying what you want out loud, having faith that it's going to get done, type thing, and just reminding yourself that this is the path that I'm trying to go on. So yearly goals, we talked about that. Figure out something that's going to stretch you. You're starting out, you're selling high dollar items. Maybe a certain a monetary goal or hopefully maybe you had a break even goal. Or something like that. If you had to take out money to get started, things like that. Something that's going to really stretch you.
And a goal has a begin date and an end date. So if you don't give yourself an end date, your goal could take you 5 years to accomplish. And that's not exactly what you want. You could have a 5-year goal, but at the 5-year mark, you need to know, okay, I've hit that. So did I hit it on the 5-year mark, or am I a little bit ahead or a little bit behind? So if you're going to have a yearly goal, okay, the end of the year is December 31st. That's when I want to be at this point. So that way you can stay focused on where you're going and when you need to be there.
Yeah, exactly. And how do you get to a yearly goal? You plan monthly. So we'll talk about the other things too, but monthly. So if our goal for the first business, whatever, is $500,000, most people will just divide it by 12. But realistically, in our business, in the months of December and November, they're going to be a little bit bigger, right? Mm-hmm. So because of Christmas shopping or holiday shopping, we might do $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 in sales in those 2 months. Mm-hmm. So realistically, what about the other 10 months? So figure out something and keep that stuff in your mind. If you're a business that's going to be selling custom, gold-plated Easter eggs, you're going to have 1 month that's going to be really killer, and that's basically it, right? So just keep that in mind. So make your monthly goals realistic. Know what you have in the pipeline. If you have any business that's coming up, if you're, brick and mortar, things like that, what time of year are you in based off, what's going to be in demand, how much sales can I get based off that?
How much inventory do you need?
Is it summertime where, a lot of businesses do fall back, because of tourism and things like that? Or are you in a tourism market and you need to focus on that? There's a million questions there that make your monthly goals very important. Just make sure that you have them, make sure you know exactly, nothing's it's a secret. Nothing's going to, crap, I didn't see Christmas coming, had no clue,
Yeah.
But be very accountable to your monthly goals. So break it down even farther, weekly goals. So me and Talia talk all the time about almost every day about kind of what we're doing anyway. But weekly goals are very important to figure out, where your week's going to go and how to get there. So and what's important and what's not important.
Because your weekly goal will equal your monthly goal, which should equal your yearly goal.
Yeah. So everything adds up. So I guess really we should talk about daily goals. Mm-hmm. So every day what we try to do is we try to write down different things that we need to get done, or discuss them we talk about stuff every day. Mm-hmm. So if you're single, you talk yourself in the mirror, figure it out, but write stuff down, literally saying, here's all the objectives I need to get done today to make this a great week. So my weeks add up to months and so on and so forth. Daily goals make or break your week. Make sure that you write them down in priority of actually what needs to get done, a non-negotiable, this has to be done today, whatever. If you're in a sales type business, how many people will I cold call today to get new leads? How many of these leads, knowing my numbers, will turn into sales or prospects or whatever? So just things like that. When I was, just give you an idea, when I was in sales, I knew that I had so many people in my pipeline that I needed to sell advertising to. Right? These are people that showed interest. Maybe they did not move on the product the first time. I need to follow up. Mm-hmm. I also had so many people that I had talked to, maybe didn't set an appointment. These were, kind of warm leads, but still kind of cold. And then I had people that I knew needed my product, but didn't have it. So I need to talk to those. So the cold contacts. I would literally go out and talk to these people, just fill up my calendar. And I knew that I could get 2 appointments a day, spending so much time on the phone, cold calling people, and boom.
A calendar?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, calendars. So if you have your daily goal, that should lead you into scheduling your day, right?
Yeah.
And so the calendar that he speaks of is very important. You can use Google Calendars. It's right on your phone. It'll notify you before you have a meeting. So Mike and I had a time in our life where we were both working really, really hard, and we had to figure out, well, we're always working really hard. Just kidding. But so we just had to figure out how to make our life work together. And as married couples, or even as a single, like, you have to know everything that you have going on, because it's so easy to forget something. So we had remember we had our calendars linked?
Yeah, we were running a magazine, and I was still selling advertising for a living with another company. We started a women's magazine locally, and it got pretty hectic because I had my own calendar for my own appointments. I still had to do my own cold calling, like I was just talking about. I had to make time to do all these little things to make sure that I was, number one in the region, like I tried to be. But then, I have to help Talia sell, because Talia had no clue even how to do this stuff.
Yeah, I learned on the spot.
So we had to be very particular. We shared a Google Calendar, right? She would attach me to every appointment she had. I would attach her to every appointment I had for the company. That way she knew exactly what time of day I would be free and when I wouldn't be, and so on and so forth. So I had to be specific, block out 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock for cold calling and calling on the phone, knocking on doors, things like that, B2B stuff. I had to, say when I had my appointments, when I literally would block out time for Talia to discuss a different appointment she had. So if she had an appointment at, 10 o'clock with a chiropractor, I would say, what's your plan? And then we tweak it, saying, because like I said, she wasn't in sales. I was, what's the benefit of a chiropractor being in a women's magazine? Oh, well, blah, 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 whatever. Yep. So we hit all these key points, and we'd be so in tune that when she went to do the appointment, she could, her closing rate was probably like 75%.
Yeah.
Literally everybody she sat with, she did really well. And that helps, nice smile, caring person, actually, good product, whatever, does a lot. So yeah, that calendar is a big thing for your daily, work. And singles, not just married couples, but yeah, definitely married if you are doing this stuff, because literally you have more stuff going on.
Yeah. Right? And there's nothing worse than double booking yourself and not realizing it. And like, if you have an appointment, maybe your kid has a doctor's appointment, but now you've scheduled this business meeting and you can't be in two places at once.
Or you have a baseball game. Or you have a soccer game.
Commitments.
You have a PTA meeting. You have all these things that take up your time, church groups, all this stuff. So being in, unified as one person or one team, I guess, doing all this stuff. Yeah. Get on a calendar and, make sure that you're okay. And singles, same thing. Make sure you set your calendars. Make sure on a daily basis, you know exactly what is your priority, what you have to tackle today, non-negotiable, and knock that out first.
Yep. And at the very least, you want to plan your day the night before.
Yep.
Because there's nothing worse than waking up in the morning and being like, I know I was supposed to do something today, and you can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
So if you sit down and you take the time to plan either by yourself or with your partner about what you're going to do, then you will be golden the next day. You'll get accomplished so much more. You may not hit everything on your list because life happens. Yeah. Kids happen, dogs happen, everything happens. But if you have a plan, at least you can get the majority of your things done, and rather than not getting any of it done.
Yeah. And if you can't get it done, but you need to, maybe it's time to wake up. They call it the 6 a.m. club. Wake up early if you have to. Go to bed late if you have to. You won't die. Guarantee it. Just make sure that whatever you set as your goal of doing that day, you give yourself the best chance of getting it done. Be realistic on the time frames of what it takes to do each of these key points, right? And make sure that no excuses,
Yep.
Especially like me and Talia don't. We got 4 kids. They're gone, They're all small and they all take up a lot of time. So make sure you set your goals on a daily basis to help out your weekly goals, to make sure your monthly goals you hit like hard as a rock. And then, your yearly goals, you're not surprised that daggone it, man, I just flew by this, So make sure your monthly goals, maybe do a little bit extra, right? Every month, go the extra mile. That way, when it gets to your yearly goal, you're like, wow, I blew by it by 20%, 30%.
Yep.
So, yeah, makes a very nice holiday year when that happens, right?
Yep. So after you've set all these goals, or maybe before you set the goals, you can actually have what we have our regular goal for a day, a year, a month. Then we have a big goal, which is what would happen if we surpass that regular goal just a little bit. And then we have our what we call a God goal, which means what happens if a miracle happens and we do $1 million in sales this year. Like, what does that look like? So you kind of have planned out, if you can just do just a little bit more, what would that accomplish? Mm-hmm. So those are things just to think about. Another really big thing is to have an accountability partner. Now, for some of you, it cannot be your husband or your wife. Yeah. Because we're the ones who let each other off the hook. We're the ones who say, it's okay, honey.
Unconditional love.
Yeah.
Is a crock.
Shut up. But what you want to do is find someone who you hold in high regard, someone who you trust and that you wouldn't want to let down. And if you share with them your goals and just tell them, I need you to keep me accountable to this. And it may not be something where they can check in on you every day, but maybe you go in and you just let them know, like, hey, I said I was going to do these things this month, and here's where I'm at. I'm really excited because I'm hitting my goals. And that will not only spur you on, but maybe you can even start a partnership with someone where you guys are sharing goals with each other and holding each other accountable.
Yeah, I mean, just why do people pay $50 an hour to, get personal trained by somebody at a gym? It's not because maybe they even have more experience weightlifting than the person, but that person keeps them accountable to their goal. Their whole purpose is to make sure that you get what you said you wanted. Mm-hmm. So that's what you have to do. So I think accountability partner is so key. You have to know what you want. You have to hit somebody else to keep you accountable to that goal. And, the easiest way to do it is, find mentorship as well, right? Find somebody that's already done what you've done done what you want to do, mm-hmm. and mimic what they do. They said success leaves clues. Follow those clues and you'll be successful. So if you want to be a millionaire in the pizza business, or you want to run a good pizza shop, I guess, look what the guys are doing, how the place is decorated, how they greet their customers when they come in, mm-hmm. What their prices look like, even things like that. This is how you become successful. Figure out what they've done and do the same thing. And me and Ty are trying to be that for everybody that listens. If anybody, we want to show you that we got our legs blown off going through this minefield. Don't step there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So in any which way, find somebody either way that's already done what you want to do and mimic what they did.
Yep. And then, it's always really good to review weekly, review monthly to see if you are hitting those goals and figure out, like, what did I do differently this month than last month? Why am I more successful or less successful this week than last week? Figure out, where do I need to make adjustments? Adjustments are great. It doesn't mean that you failed. You only fail if you quit. So if you had a bad week or a bad month, figure out what you did wrong or what you can do differently or what you can do better, and make those changes so that you can be more successful the next month, and then expand on that and expand on that.
Yep. Yeah. Failure is not fatal unless it's final. Go out there and don't quit. That's really what it comes down to. If you don't quit, you're doing okay. You'll figure it out, and just, tweak, adjust, pivot, figure it out. Right.
All right. So we want to know, give yourself a couple days, a week, set some goals, figure out where you want to be, what you need to do, how you're going to do it. And then I want to know if you hit your goals. I want to know, how that made you feel. I want to hear your success.
Yeah. I think that, if you prioritize your goals daily, you do what you're supposed to do, or you're telling yourself what to do, being your own boss, this is the way that it's going to make the biggest difference on whether you're going to succeed in your eyes and everybody else's eyes, whatever, your doubters, your naysayers. This is how you're going to win. So please, 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 please prioritize and set your goals, make them big, make them realistic, but make sure that it's something you love doing and something you want to actually hit.
Yeah. And pursue them. I mean, go hard, go hard or go home, right? So
come at me, bro.
So make sure that you guys are succeeding. We're excited about your success. We're excited about sharing our success with you and the different things we have going on.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about some of the things that we are doing here in the future outside of Amazon. We talked about that plenty of times. But, we have tons of different things. And I'll tell you what, once we hit one of these goals, we'll make it vocal and we'll show you guys that, hard work does pay off.
Yeah. So we are going to remind you once more to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MIB podcast. Or if you have any questions, comments, you want to share a story with us, we'd love to hear from you. info@themibpodcast.com. We love you. We appreciate you listening.
Thank you guys for listening today. Make sure that if you haven't done so, subscribe to our channels, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, everything. We'd love if you wrote us a review. Hopefully it's a 5-star review. If we suck, tell us we suck. But we're here for you, so hopefully it won't
hopefully we don't suck.
Yeah, hopefully free information on the troubles and obstacles and success of our life. Hopefully will benefit you. So we appreciate you either way, and thank you guys. Love you.
All right, have a good day.